Your unstoppable enthusiasm has literally filled every seat. At Flow Indore, this is exactly we live for. To empower our members and to keep feeding their minds and hearts with finest and most meaningful content. Today again, you all have proved that when Flow calls, we answer in the most glorious and houseful way possible. Now, what we all will see is not just a movie. We see our own hidden fears reflected on the screen. Assi, meaning the number 80, the number of rapes reported in our country every single day. In fact, friends, one rape every 18th minute. A courtroom drama so raw, so unflinching, and so necessary that it will refuse to let you look down. So friends, thank you once again for being here in such magnificent numbers. I would like to take a moment here to extend my gratitude to our own Flow members, Ms. Kashfi Motiramani, Ms. Sanya Motiramani, Ms. Diya Chug, and Ms. Mansi Chug of the Drama Factory for graciously hosting us as our venue partners. We would also like to thank our year-round sponsors present here for generously supporting us always. Now friends, please switch off your phones, open your hearts and watch Assi the way it deserves to be watched. With honesty, with dignity and with the grace that we Floyds are known for. Let us respect the film and let us respect each other. Lights down, let the film begin.
Hi, chairperson. Anubhav sir is the chairperson for FICCI. अभी रुको ना सर चल लेट्स गो कम
थोड़ा पीछे हो जाओ ग्रुप नहीं आ रहा है
मैम अंदर चलते हैं
अरे अरे
Cinematographers are the problem in my life.
guys
During the flight, but it's okay.
और डाउन रखना सर, डाउन रखना। मोबाइल पीछे करिए मैम। हाँ सर थोड़ा हाथ।
एक मिनट मैं ये हटा दूँ। नहीं ये ठीक है, मतलब
फिर जा रहे हो अंदर में
बोल कैमरा प्लीज।
ये इनका कैमरा कहाँ है आपका कैमरा? आप सामने आओ। सिर्फ कॉपी
ओके ओके ओके
excuse me.
ओके इस कैमरे पर देखिएगा। स्माइल प्लीज।
स्माइल।
Okay, look at the camera, smile.
Next group, Richard, next group.
Okay, look at the camera. Yeah, nice. Smile.
We'll have a group picture.
कौन है यहाँ?
Okay, look at the camera. Look at this side.
ओके सभी सामने देखिएगा.
Okay, look at the camera.
यस.
अनुभव सर
Yeah, look at the camera. Shout करवा रहा.
ओके यस. स्माइल प्लीज.
Say cheese, everyone. Hi, that was nice. It actually gives you a smile.
यस मैम.
कैटेगरी वो फिर की तरफ से
Wow. Get healthy. What made them getting healthy stuff? They only give me chocolates and all this. Mota hone ka saman. Of course I will try it. Why will I leave? Right?
बॉडी पे जगह
पता मैं आप लेके जाओ. हाँ.
देंगे आपको. चलिए आ जाइए.
ओके ओके बस. नहीं तो सामने.
Wow, what a captivating first half it has been. And I'm sure you would all agree on this. The wait is over, the moment you all have been waiting for is here. Let us all welcome the team that has poured heart, courage and truth into Assi. Join me in a roaring welcome to the electrifying force of Indian cinema, the fearless filmmaker Miss Taapsee Pannu. A big warm welcome to the brave, honest and brilliant filmmaker Mr. Anubhav Sinha. Please join me
अरे भैया भैया भैया
brilliant and soulful performer. The one and
सर थोड़ा
only
पीछे आओ. नीचे बैठो डाउन हो.
थोड़ी सी कम कर लेना.
हाँ.
May I now request Chairperson Flo Indore, C.A. Shweta Agrawal, to kindly felicitate our guests, Miss Taapsee Pannu, Mr. Anubhav Sinha.
Side.
देखना इधर एलसीडी खुली हुई है. इधर एलसीडी खुली हुई है.
Thank you, Shweta.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can I have a good hi? Thank you so much. I must say this is one of the most amazing flow events we have had. Thank you so much, Taapsee ma'am, Kani ma'am, and Anubhav sir to grace Indore by your presence. We have no formal agenda today, no long speeches, just popcorn and a powerful story. Today is special because it's exclusively for our Flow Sisterhood, a space where we come together not just to work, not just to network, but to experience something meaningful together. The theme says it beautifully, watch her with her. And I love that because it reminds us that when women stories are told, they deserve to be watched with attention, with empathy and with solidarity. Cinema has has that amazing ability to entertain us and also to make us think, reflect, and sometimes even challenge our own perspectives. And that's what makes today so special. So after this, we are so much looking forward for a candid conversation with you. And so relax, enjoy and have fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shweta. We simply cannot contain our eagerness to be swept away by every word from our special guests. Over to you all.
यहाँ पे जेंट्स फर्स्ट
Majority में है
तू हमेशा गुजरती
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Sorry, we've lost track of time, days. Only I remember the date, and probably the Friday that's coming day after. But he's zoning out time, I think. But yeah, what a beautiful sight to see a beautiful. This person doesn't want to speak. I will still speak. It's such a beautiful sight to see all of you sitting. I'm not sure if it was the most appropriate time for us to walk in, because I know how the first half is, what you end up feeling by the end of the first half. I promise you'll feel better by the end of the second one, because now is where we go towards a sort of a resolution of the story. So you'll feel better in the second half. But yeah, it must have been a very disturbing time in the first half. So I'm not sure how cheerful and happy and energetic I can make you all feel. I in fact wouldn't want to break your rhythm as well. It's such a a very timely, special, important, all these adjectives I could use for this film. But I think it's more of, I can't say your film, but our film. Because I think we've heard many times saying like, if a woman is educated, the whole family is educated. Same way, I feel it's a woman who gives birth to a boy. If we take the control in our hand, that we're going to make sure what kind of boys are we bringing up, and are we putting the same set of rules for him as we are putting for her, or we are teaching that there'll be always separate rules for him and separate rules for her. The amount of attention and love and how we treasure our girls, that you are the family's treasure, so we want to keep you safe. If that much amount of attention we give to our boys, telling them that they are also treasure, but they also need to have the same set of, the same mindset, the same respect, the same love for the other gender. And I always keep thinking that where did we go wrong? That the number is 80. I guess by now, if you've seen the trailer, you'll know 80 is the number of rape cases reported in a day in India. So you can imagine how weird the sight will be. I mean, if you see so many women sitting here, imagine 35,000 women sitting in a stadium. That's number of cases in a year. So that visual is so scary. I really hope when we teach our boys to be educated, get big degrees, go to fancy colleges, how to earn a lot of money, how to be the boss. I hope we all can teach our boys how to be human beings first, to be kind. I think then we can probably get this number down. Sir rightly, he's written it all in the story in the form of a story. But when we talk about police or we talk about judiciary coming in, it's post the crime. Our question is, why not kill that crime from the root itself? And that's why this film, because we are not talking to the judiciary or the police, we're talking to you all. We want to talk to our audience. Because we genuinely feel it's you all who can help us make the difference. We are doing our bit by using our medium to make this little bit of difference in terms of, at least we are hoping we'll start a conversation. I hope you all join us in this conversation and take it ahead, because that's the only hope I have with mothers, that they can change the next generation. So yeah, that's what our intention is. I hope it comes across. She's like, don't make me talk.
We want to hear it.
Yeah, all the way from Kerala, it's her first Hindi film.
That will not work.
Yeah, it's really nice. I've never seen this, just even watching. I reminded me of my childhood where my father used to take me for second show in the night. And then I'll be the only girl child in the whole theatre, it's only men, and my father and me. Sometimes my mother used to come, but we were the only two girls or women in the whole theatre in Kerala. It has changed in Kerala now. PC family, but I've never seen this. It's like, I want to take a picture. It's like, wow. So nice to see that. Yeah. Taapsee have spoken everything. About really, no, I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
She speaks so well, so I was, I always think that women think, and they watch, they think, and then we have to make sure men also watch this film. and all genders, and we all been talking, but we have to keep talking and make some kind of changes, not only at home but also in education, also in governance and systems. We have a lot of laws in place, it's true, but sometimes the implementation is not there. There are corruption, there are so many issues this country has, and it's mostly not one problem, it's a lot of problems put together leading to worsening the existing situation, I think. So how can we address, why we address one thing and identify the things around so that we identify and solve that. Also, if we isolate one issue from others, sometimes it's not like that. While she was speaking, I was thinking of that. How do we do, I mean, we all have to work together in every aspect of that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like sometimes I think like if a boy child of ours, if he comes back from school and if he has some doubts or if he has behaved in a way, how do we react to that? And do we give space for them to speak up when they understand their body is changing? How do we do it, or do we shut them off? Or I was thinking of that, like, you know, and where do we really start? Just that was wrong, don't do. Is that the right way of teaching? Is that the right way of raising children? That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Please watch, continue watching. I don't want to break your.
Hi, good afternoon, evening actually. Wonderful, beautiful ladies. Thank you for watching this film. And somebody was asking me in an interview, why should men watch this film? I said, because women have already seen this. They have seen this film too many times over. Men haven't. So it's them actually who have to see this film. And if you are liking this film, if you like what we're trying to do with this film, I urge you to spread the word. In Bombay, there is an expression called word of mouth. They say, one of my films which didn't do too well, I was talking to the distributor on a Friday or on a Saturday. Actually, that film released a week after demonetization, so people didn't have the money. So I asked him, how's the word of mouth? So he said, sir, there are no mouths. There are 6 mouths in a theatre. So there was no word of mouth. But that's, for these kind of films, the most important thing for it to reach other people is the word of mouth. And sometimes we are lazy about it. Sometimes, the problem of good people is that they think everything is good. It will be good. But, more often than not, you have to work towards it. So if you really like the film, I urge you to spread the word, tell other people, other friends. If you like it, if you don't like it, don't do it. Only if you like it enough, you should actively tell more people to go watch the film, because we need to have this conversation. The society needs to have this conversation. And when I thought of the film, I wasn't very interested in the case itself, or the investigation, or the judgment. I was very interested in 2 things. What happened to the woman after that? Can punishment be justice? You punish perpetrators, but does she find justice? Maybe some solace that those people... Actually, I spoke to a lot of women. What should be done to these people who rape? And unanimously, I must have asked this question to 30-35 women. They said, kill them. Seriously, kill them. But that's not the answer.
Audience.
No, that's I agree with the feeling, but that's not the solution. I was talking to a journalist in Punjab. He was telling me in Punjab, in one small town, I forget which one. So some 4 or 5 kids decided anybody who rapes will kill him. So they started killing. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So they created a phone number that any girl could call and complain. Now there are 2 dangers. One is of misinformation, and 2 is of will it. I think we as a society have failed in this matter. We did not raise our children well. Their changes in their body and how to deal with it and not feel ashamed of it. It happens to everyone. How to treat a woman. Where the fundamental mistake has been made by our generation. Much younger ones than me in the room probably need to pick it up. And this is what I believe, but everybody will have different answers to this. So please enjoy the film and talk about it if you like it. Talk about it if you don't like it. Yeah, if it is not good, you should say it. And yeah, that's it. Everything else that I can say, I have tried to say through this film, which took me time and effort to achieve. It's very difficult to release, and so I need your help on that. Please help us.
That's just adding a bit to that. I think it's just that the bad ones are capable of making more noise, and we feel like we are too good to make any noise. Let's just leave it. That's why we don't see real rooted stories. All these kind of complaints. System at home, but the reality of the matter is that even OTTs don't want these kind of films anymore. It's their clear mandates now. The clear mandate now, whichever film works at the theatre is what the stories that are actually. We talk about world cinema. Oh my God, look at Sinners. Oh my God, films. We don't watch Hindi films because we don't probably push them enough. That's probably the reason why OTTs don't want these kind of films, because they feel people are not interested. That's the appeal I'm making this time when I go out to promote my film. I know you all will like it. I have that much of faith in the audience. All I want them to do is make some noise for us. That's all I want you to do.
Taapsee, movies like Thappad, Pink, the kind of...
After Thappad, sir and I had so many phone calls of people telling us that it's their story. like how awkward the conversations were between husband and wife who went and saw that movie together. At least it started a conversation. I saw father and daughter walking out of the theatre watching Pink. It must have been there must have been some sort of a conversation that a father and daughter went and saw the film together and walked out. So I genuinely believe they can start a conversation, and conversation is the starting point of any kind of change, right? You can only bring about change when you start talking about it. So yes, movies can start conversation, but change is in your hand, the audience's hand. How far you take that conversation, it depends on that. So yeah.
Thank you so much. This one is for Anubhav sir. So making film like these, they actually are very deep in the character, and you have to really, I think you have to be very careful about what you think and what you want the audience to think. So how much feeling do you put into that, and how much is you're on the both side of the story, on the making side and also on the audience side. You must be thinking about both the parts and then creating a balance. So how does that go?
No, I'm not thinking of the audience because there is no way I can second guess these women. No way. No, not just women. There's no way you can second guess people sitting in these seats. Also, a very interesting thing that I believe is that even they don't know what they want to watch. They have seen, let's say, 11 kinds of movies. They don't know the 12th kind of movie. So if you ask them, they will tell you one of those 11. But I want to make the 12th film, which they haven't seen. And that will come out of my personality. So the more I put of my personality in that, my opinion, my philosophy, into my film, the higher the chance that it will become the 12th film. And who knows, they will like it.
So doesn't those negative feelings sometimes overcome you? Movies like this, you're thinking about them, the storyline. So doesn't it take over on you?
Hasn't the world got numb to negative feelings? So I don't care about the negative feeling. I believe it's nice. And they were like, I continue to believe.
This one is for Kani. So was there a moment while you were shooting films like All We Imagine As Light and Girls Will Be Girls, when you felt the character was teaching you something about womanhood that you did not know?
All We Imagine As Light? No. When I read the script, I immediately I felt I know these women and I know what they're
What clicked you while you were reading that script?
What clicked me, as in like
You said yes.
the very last scene, which is very subtle. My character Prabha, she's this woman who's completely conservative or rigid, and she's mostly to herself. But the very last scene where she asks her colleague Anu to bring the boyfriend and talk to him, like sit, and then she kind of very quietly asks her, "Where are you from?" And then he kind of says where he's from, and then she says, I've been there. It's a very beautiful place, and this place is beautiful too, which made me feel how open we all can be, and maybe we feel the other is something strange or I don't know, so I don't like it. Rather having an open-mindedness to that's also beautiful, this is also beautiful, and that kind of touched me, even though it's very subtle in the script. I don't know if everyone, it's not the largest, but it is the largest story for me, where she opens up to things. And Girls Will Be Girls was a little struggle for me when I read the script. I did not understand a mother like that because I have not seen one like that. My mother and I have a completely different relationship, or my friend's mother. So I read it and I was like, why she's like this? Why this mother is like that? And so I asked my director and she said there are mothers like that, and then we had a conversation and I thought it would be interesting to work with her, so I did. But later, after the film released, a lot of people wrote to me, this was my life or something, and I'm like, wow, okay, I had no idea. Yeah.
So find characters everywhere.
Yeah, it is. I mean, actors, I mean, we are fortunate to play different lives in one lifetime, so that way, yeah, it's great.
Thank you. So Taapsee, this one is for you. So what make you leave those safe glamour roles and do such?
See, it's a mix of two things. First is my career began with mostly these kind of films. So directors probably could imagine me only in these kind of films. Also, it was like nobody was ready to take the risk as much in the film industry because it's obviously it doesn't. These kind of films apparently don't make you a big heroine. It doesn't give you heavy paychecks or all these kind of notions are attached to doing these kind of films. But they give you a very good sleep in the night. And I chose that.
Very so sweet, very, very unexpected answer, actually. Okay. Sir, you choose harder topics that are not pure entertainment for us and also not real art films. So how do you make sure your film stays beautiful and true without turning into lectures or pushing one strong opinion?
I looked up the meaning of entertainment and where the word comes from. So these are two Latin words, mostly French now. Enter is among and tain is hold. So hold together. Anything that can hold people together is entertainment, and I think this is very entertaining.
Kani ma'am, this is for you. So is there any particular kind of silence or energy in a theatre rehearsal room that cinema has never been able to replicate for you?
I don't look theatre in cinema, it's two different medium. It's two different experiences. But both can bring a certain kind of the silence or, I didn't think it in this way, or it's two different things and I like both differently, yeah.
So which one do you like better?
What challenges me more is definitely theatre as an actor. Because to repeat again and again and again and not to be mechanical and to go into something again as the first time and you need to keep performing something slightly different and the play keeps evolving a bit, so you keep discovering. So it's a harder job. It's more like like a meditation or a monk in terms of to never get bored by repetition. Like how do you do that? So that's something is not easy, I think. Cinema has different difficulties for me, but the acting part sometimes I feel slightly easier in terms of there can be one take which went okay and it's done. I got sick. But in play, maybe that best performance was in one of the rehearsals. Never going to be sometimes on the stage and I'm like, oh, I did that and I'm never coming to it. In that aspect, I find cinema in a way like a little easy in that way. But what I like more, I think I like theatre more in terms of we all become really close and we put things together. We all think of the costume to everything. Like you are also the creator. You are not just an actor. At least the theatre that I do. So you're fully involved. In cinema, I feel it's mainly the director, writer. There, it's director's thing, and no matter how much as an actor I put in, I still feel it's that individuals also. While there is a team very strongly, we also feel for it. I still feel I never want to take a credit of my anything in a cinema. I completely feel if I did something good, it's 99% the director's thing. And yeah, that's how I feel. And theatre, I think it can be fully my responsibility if it's bad. Yeah.
Thank you. So this one, Taapsee ma'am, is last from my side. Then we can have some Q&A from the audience. Team, please take over. So, in today's world of online trolling, how do you decide when to speak and when to be quiet?
I actually decided to preserve myself, which was a decision, a very hard decision for someone like me who loves to talk, who feels that I read enough to form an opinion about something that I've read well about. I will never have an opinion on something that I don't know well enough, but when I say something, I'm saying out of knowing something. So, and I take pride in the fact that I am decently well educated. So I'm bound to have a mind of my own, and I'm not embarrassed of that. Nobody should be, I feel. Just because I'm an actress doesn't mean I have to always act dumb. So I can act dumb, but I need to be paid for that in front of the camera. So yeah, I mean, what I did a few years back was when I realized that I always admit to the fact that I'm very harsh and a rough outside. And without explaining or justifying it too much, just imagine a girl who comes from Delhi. You know how life, I don't know if you know, but you probably know or heard of the kind of threats that we live under, being a girl there. School, college was there. Then left Delhi, went to South by myself, no support system, no family member accompanying, and then made my way through in Mumbai, again by myself. I'm not talking about the whole outsider thing and all, it's just basically just, I had to always make space for myself by myself. So it kind of hardens you on the outside. But inside, you do have that vulnerability that helps me grow as a human being, feel as a human being, and also perform as a human being in the characters I do. Slowly, with reacting, because when I read something that's wrong, as a human being, I started reacting, which is a natural thing for all of us to do. But I realized that trying to hold myself back and not be impulsive kind of started making me feel that I'm getting hardened up from the inside. I'm losing my vulnerability. I'm losing my softness from inside because I'm teaching myself to not to get affected. I did not want to do that to myself. So I kind of distanced myself from social media a couple of years back. And I still continue to do so. I only come online when my movie promotions are happening. And I think that my films will speak for the kind of stuff I stand for. And of course, I'll come around promotions and meet you all, speak to you all, and then share my views and whatever I think, what I think. But yeah, constantly being there 24/7 throughout the year is something I stepped a little back from to preserve myself, just so that I can save that kindness and the softness that is left on my inside. That's why. That's how I did it.
So when people call you difficult or too outspoken, how do you take it?
I am difficult. Oh yeah.
People expect you to be quiet and likable and lovely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, we've all gone through it. If you talk too much, then also a problem. If you talk too little, then also a problem. So I've never understood what is that right middle path. I've never understood this. So I've just not stopped pleasing people. I please myself. So
please take this home. Please ask it. Any questions from the audience, please?
When are we starting the movie?
Hi Taapsee, hi sir, hello ma'am. So, one question to sir is how was it working with Taapsee ma'am and like how was your experience? Since you have been part of quite a film.
You want the real answer? Then
Yes, of course.
Then we need to meet outside.
I will come there also, but I will have the answer here.
I love working with her, so I keep casting her. All the time.
Her answer is she's very difficult. So how is your tough nut to crack?
Not with me. She's very simple.
More difficult.
This is coming.
Kani says I'm more difficult.
Okay,
coming back, sir, like the movie which usually you portray the different characters, you know, it actually makes us think, and that there's a pinch which makes us feel uncomfortable again. So, you know, there are so many thoughts we again have to change, there has to be a shift. So what inspires you to do such films, to make such films?
I'm just that irritating guy in the room who's looking at the wrong things. You know, maybe the room's too cold is what I'm feeling. But rest of the things are fantastic. So I will talk about the cold. But you should have some of those guys in the room.
Yes, definitely.
They're useful.
And I watched the films Article 15 and Taapsee Pannu's last Thappad. It actually, you know, the
Somebody at
conversation...
the airport told her, I love you in that film of yours called Tamacha.
We got the point. We got the
feelings
point.
were there, I believe. Taapsee, for you, there's a question, like such films when you do, does it impact the roles which you play? Does it impact you personally, like somewhere?
Yeah. Most of my films changed me as a human being, and I don't go back to being the same person I was before. Something small, something very nuanced, maybe something very little, but it does change. This particular film, I was saved because I was not playing the victim or survivor. So it kind of saved me a little bit, but most of my films, they do change me, and I never go back to being the same person as I was before.
Thank you so much for being here. It was an awesome watch. I think I can say for everybody else here that at one point we got teary-eyed watching this. So thank you. My question to you is the topics you guys choose are really heavy at heart, alright? So just by watching this, we get teary-eyed and we take the baggage back कि क्या हो रहा है life में, society में क्या चल रहा है. I just wanted to know if you do get to a dark space after doing this stuff and actually going through all of this on the screen, and how do you deal with that? Do you ever come back from that space?
How do you feel when you write?
I live there. I think we are what we see from the windows of our cars. Some people see the billboards. Some people see the poor people on the pavement. Some people see something else. So what you look at is who you are. And like I said, I'm that irritating guy who's looking at the pavement. So I live there. And I want to leave this planet a better place. It's much worse than how I received it. And it is my responsibility to make it slightly better. It's getting worse every day. So I live there.
So we can have one last question and then we'll have a group picture.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Kani ma'am. Hi, Taapsee ma'am. And hi, Anubhav Sinha. I really like all your films of Taapsee ma'am, but I just like one particular film which I liked was Badla, which you did with Amitabh Bachchan sir. That was really mind-blowing. So you play such strong characters. I want to ask, in real life, what's the most rebellious thing you've ever done?
No, I will go back to this.
Most rebellious.
Most rebellious. I think it was a decision to become an actor. I'm an engineer by qualification, and I never wanted to become an actor. I've never even taken part in any school skit or play. I had no experience of acting, performing. I'm a trained dancer. I've been learning classical dance for a good 6 years at least. 6 to 8 years I've learned Indian classical dance. So I'm good at performing in front of the audience, but I have no experience of acting. So when I told my father after, in midway through my engineering, that I don't want to do it, and that was first shock that he heard. And then after, I told him I'll finish the degree no matter what and then decide what I want to do. The next thing, the bigger shock was now I want to go down south suddenly with a language I've never heard, never spoken, to act, and a craft that I've never done before. So that was probably I also think sometimes now that I don't know what was I thinking where I got the courage of going all the way from north to south and start acting that I've never done in a language I've never heard. So I think that was the most, I don't know what I was thinking.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Who asked that negative thing? How? So, yeah. I just wanted to say one thing. That I personally think when we accumulate things that we don't deal with is when negativity accumulates. Not when we think of it or understand and then try to find solution. I think we try to hide it and do not talk about it. Yes, there will be a blast maybe. So that's how I feel. It's to avoid something actually happening is what is more negative than actually looking at it and then what can we do about it? And it may affect us, but let's do that, right? That's why there are a lot of problems in the current world, but we are definitely slightly better in many aspects as a civilization compared to 100 years ago. A lot of people have worked, sacrificed, or questioned. They did not think this is affecting me so much, I shouldn't. I mean, I understand that sometimes we have other things, sometimes we are not so strong, but then we seek other people's help. Something like that. I think it's together, and it's never negativity that way, I think, to deal with a problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this conversation. So I request everyone to please stand at your own place, don't move. We ask you to just... I want everybody.
Yes, ma'am. We try. Yes, hold. Smile, please.
And then stop moving, girls, when I didn't want to move for this.
Once again, a big heartfelt thanks to Anubhav sir, Taapsee ma'am.
ठीक है, थैंक यू।
सबको ले जाओगे ना फैमिली।